Hi, it's Romola and welcome to this video. This is for you if you are a sensitive and overloaded woman looking for some support. This is the card that's come out today. We have a patch of blue sky. It's one of my favourite phrases, and at the moment it's the working title for my fiction book. And I love this phrase, this patch of blue sky. It's this, when you look to the sky and it's full of clouds, but there's a tiny spark of that blue, there's a little bit of blue, a little patch of blue, and it's just that, focusing on that patch of blue sky rather than all the greyness, the cloudiness, etc, etc. And it's not just obviously about this blue sky that we can look at. It's the tiny little things, the micro moments, the micro elements that really can support us when we are in overwhelm, when we are feeling cloudy and sad and depressed. There will always be this little spark, this little patch of blue sky that we can focus on. So this, when we are stuck, when we're having difficulty feeling hope and seeing hope, when we're getting tunneled visioned, when we're in emotional overload, it's difficult sometimes to think, oh, how do I get out of this? There's just nothing. I'm just in this funk and I'm just stuck. And this, looking to the sky, that little patch of blue sky, is really about looking for those small pleasures, the gratitude, the gentle perspective shifts. So when we're looking for something small, we're not looking for a huge big car or a new house or that kind of manifesting. We're looking at small things. So for me, this is my cup of coffee. It is in one of my favourite mugs. I'll just lift this up a little bit, look. It's a huge big mug full of roses. This is my patch of blue sky. Every day, or most days, I will have a cup of coffee in this mug. It makes me smile. It's good coffee, or good enough coffee for me. And yeah, it makes me smile. This is my patch of blue sky. So by integrating these little things into the day, we can support ourselves, we can meet ourselves where we are, and still bring a bit of joy, the little bits of joy, those micro elements. So this is really what I would invite you to think about, is what is your patch of blue sky that really supports you in life. Yeah, so it could be seeing a friend, it could be having a cup of coffee with somebody, it'd be having a cup of coffee by yourself, it could be going to have a nap, it could be a crystal that you like working with, or a spray that you like to use, or a piece of clothing that you just love how it feels on your body and how it looks on your body. It could be a scarf. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be a really fun pair of socks that make you smile when you look at them. All these things, like I said, they don't have to be huge. We're just looking at something small to bring that element of joy, that spark of energy into your day, and shift you by a micro step out of the overwhelm and the exhaustion and into a slightly better space. But it's not just about moving you, it's about feeling it. And this is where the patch of blue sky, you see it in the sky, you think, oh yeah, that blue sky. Isn't the sky lovely when it's full of blue sky, when the sun's out? I can get my washing out, I can sit in the garden and read, I could lie on the grass, whatever it is that patch of blue sky can grow into, and feel that in your body. Because when we feel these things in our body, in our emotions, that is where the shift is really going to happen. So love this. And like I say, it is actually the working title of my book at the moment, which feels like a bit of a nod that I need to get it done. So I'm heading for the end of, well, I say the end. Daughter's got 2 more exams. Son has got 7 more exams, so he's still got a good 3 weeks left. But when that's finished, I will have more energy, more capacity to actually do some more writing. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let me see what cards are coming out to support this. So we have Firefly and Wonder. I've got a feeling we had this one recently. And again, it's this spark. It's this element of joy that is tiny. The proportion of, let me just lift this up. There we go. Can we see that better? You know, the Firefly is this big, and actually only less than a quarter, maybe an eighth of it is actually this glow. And that's what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be huge, because if we sit around waiting to manifest the big things, we can absolutely miss the small things that are those sparks of joy. So yeah, that was a perfect card actually to come up. Let's see. What else have we got? This one. Succulents and resilience. Yeah, I mean, resilience is a key word, isn't it, really, for us to support ourselves, to have the resilience to move forward, to keep going. And it can be a hard word, I think, resilience. It's a bit like dysregulation, nervous system dysregulation. They're these key words that people bandy around, and they can have quite a heavy energy or heavy expectation, really, about them. And so that's what I feel about resilience, because, you know, every day we show up and do the best we can. That is being resilient. And just showing up, just doing the bare minimum, that is fine. That is just being resilient. We don't have to show up, beat the world, create a new record. You know, we can just one step at a time. And I'm reminded of Aesop fables, you know, when you've got the hare and the tortoise, and the tortoise is there just doing one step, one step, one step, and the hare's racing around everywhere. And, you know, in true Aesop fable style, the tortoise wins and the hare doesn't, because it's so busy being busy and running around. So this feels to me that this succulent is filling yourself up. So if you think of a succulent, you know, the leaves are very padded full of water and nutrients to support it. So it doesn't matter if it goes a few days without water, because it's got that capability within it. And this is really important, because this is building this resilience within us. It is going back to this patch of blue sky, this little spark of joy, and building those into our day, filling ourselves up with as much of those as we can, because that is the succulence. That is allowing us to fill ourselves up, fill our energy up, fill our capability up, and expand our capacity, in order so that when heavier things happen, we're able to be a bit more resilient, because we've got a little bit of a backstop. We've filled ourselves up a bit more in order to be able to cope. So for me, things like making sure I get enough sleep is really important in this exam period, because if I haven't got enough sleep, I'm going to be naggy, I'm going to be tired, I'm going to be hangry, I'm going to be eating a lot of food, usually chocolate. I have just had a chocolate biscuit. Or I'm going to be running on caffeine, and that is not me showing up in my best way. When I make sure that I fill myself up like the succulent, but with good sleep, with better food, then I'm able to show up in a better space for those around me. So there's lots actually coming up with this card. So yeah, just think about, you know, how can you build your stocks of energy, capacity. And, you know, breathing is something that is really simple. We have to do it, but breathing through our nose and can stimulate that vagus nerve, which can then have those physiological effects on the body, which is something I'm studying at the moment. So yeah, it's really interesting. But definitely, how can you start to build your inner stocks, stocks? That's what I'm going to say. Right. Let's see, how are we doing for time? Let's pull one more. Yeah, no, so we'll go to this deck, which is my Calm and Reset. Let's just pull a card from this one. So this little deck is all about simple things to do in order to bring yourself more into regulation. Hand stretch. Spread your fingers wide and gently stretch your hands. Then relax them, shake them loose. Release the tension built up from daily activity. I can really feel that in my thumb when I stretch, probably from too much going like this with my phone. So yeah, stretch your fingers wide and then relax them, give them a shake. Oh, the shaking really hurts actually. It's probably not a good thing. Right, one more little card. We'll pull one from the Inner Light and Alignment deck. And these ones are more expansive, more spiritual, let's say. But we need everything in balance, because if we're not in our body, if we're not regulating ourselves and our own energy, then spiritual work is really not going to support us. Heart and belly hold. Place one hand over your heart, place the other on your belly. Take a few slow breaths and feel the gentle rise and fall beneath your hands. This simple gesture creates a feeling of safety and connection within your body. So, love that. So let me know how you get on with those. If you are enjoying this work, the videos, come and join us in the Access Your Inner Light membership. Each week I create a Akashic journey where we do energy editing. We get in there, we shift the emotions that are coming up in here, and we do activations of the positive, so we are balancing everything out. It is £22 a month, so every week you get a video. They are usually about 20 minutes long, so they're not massively time intensive, but the ladies that are in there are really finding them very, very beneficial. Check out the link below. Reach out if you've got any questions. I send you all blessings for this week, and yeah, really invite you to tap into that patch of blue sky and that awareness, and look to the energy of that succulent of refilling yourself with as much as you can to support yourself moving forward. Let me know how this lands. Let me know what your patch of blue sky is, and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.